So Phantom of My Owns asked a really good question. What is the foreclosure process? So I can't speak for any other state, but let's talk about how it works in Pennsylvania. I jotted some notes down to help me along the way because it is a long process and I didn't want to miss anything in the mix. So first thing is if you miss a payment, you get 10 to 15 days depending on what your loan stipulates before they assess a late fee. From there, once you're 30 days late, you get called by the phone from your servicer to talk about loss mitigation options in lieu of foreclosure. They have to do that within 36 days of each missed payment that you miss. Then from there, they're going to contact you within 45 days of any missed payments with those same options in writing. After that, then a few more missed payments, you're going to get what's called a breach letter. This is telling you that your loan is currently in default, and it gives you the option to cure the loan, to basically make it good and get back on track with your payment. If you do not, at that point, they can then accelerate the loan and call it due. This officially starts the foreclosure process, and this officially happens at 120 days past due. You start getting pre-foreclosure letters at 30 days past due, expressing the intent to foreclose upon your property. The lender must provide you a notice explaining the homeowner's rights and offer credit counseling. If you take that credit counseling, you then get 30 days to solve the default with the credit counselor. If you cannot, they start the foreclosure during that process. The lender then files a suit in court. From there, if you don't respond to the letter, they get what's called a default judgment, and at that point, they can then hold a foreclosure sale. If you do respond, you then can go to court and present your case. If you lose the case, the lender gets what's called a summary judgment against you, again, allowing that foreclosure sale to happen. If you win, obviously you're not getting foreclosed upon then at that point. Notice of the sale must be posted on the property and at the sheriff's sale 30 days prior to the sale, and it must also be served to you personally. It must also be published in the newspaper one time per week at a minimum for 3 weeks prior to the sale. If they do all of this, you then have 1 hour prior to the auction to make good on your default to get yourself back out of the foreclosure state, or at that point, it then goes to the sheriff's county office for a sheriff's sale, and your house gets sold on the courthouse steps, and the highest bidder takes it. So that is, in a nutshell, how the foreclosure process works here in Pennsylvania. There are nuances along that process that can help you change or kind of alter the state of that process and have it take longer, but this is just generally the way that it breaks down. So thank you so much, Phantom of My Owns, for asking that question. That was a really good question. And if you guys have any more questions, please don't hesitate to throw them in the comments. I would love to answer any questions you have here about real estate in Pennsylvania.